Okay, guys. So I am back. My life is I'm like so. I you guys know that my favorite topic is talking about how easy it is for Black women to date. So my favorite closed stream. I don't know what's going on. Mm. So you guys know that my favorite easy it is for Black to date non-Black men, especially white men. And I think if you are a Black woman who wants to date non-Black men, who wants to date white men, Africa is probably your best bet. Okay. So in Africa, if you saw a white man in Africa, 99.9 chance that he dates a white Black woman. If you, yeah. So, but here in America, I think it's even easier in Europe. Um, but here in America, I think interracial dating is a bit difficult. Mm, mm, because I think because of the history. I don't know if you guys know that America is probably the least racially mixed country in the world. At least there is maybe you might be right. They might be going to Africa for sex. I mean, the passport was go to Africa for cheap sex. The passport was go to Latin America for cheap sex. So, yeah, I mean, everybody goes to poor countries for cheap sex. So, yeah, but here is the thing, though, too. A lot of the white people, the white men you meet in Africa, actually have good jobs. They come there uh, working for the UN, working for the WHO, some of them working for, volunteering, I guess, to the Red Cross. Uh, but all in all, I would say they have better jobs than the passport pros. Let's be honest. A lot of the passport pros are broke. In fact, the reason they leave America is because they are too poor to date here in America. Mm. But that's actually neither here nor there because I am not talking about African women. I'm talking about, women who live in the West who want to date white men. And if you are, living in the West and you want to date a white man, your best bet is either Europe or Africa. I'm so tired. Yeah, so go to Africa if you want to date white men. Mm, but that's it. And let's do that. The problem now is there was a time when I could be on the live for 12 hours, but now it's like, I am on the live for 5 minutes and I'm already tired. Like I want to just go to bed. And I want to talk about people calling me troll. I'm not a troll. I think the sad part is that the passport pro space is such a misogynist place. When I joke, they don't take the joke because I am a woman. They are sensitive to jokes from women because for them they do not consider us, the same as them. Like the joke we make hurts them because it's almost like, when a white person makes a joke with a black person, it's how they see it like that. There is absolutely no difference between white, the passport process and the white went with the same thing. Remember, I actually consider white men, white men are violent. I mean, the most violent people God has ever created. And white men, they're, when they do sex tourism, their sex tourism is destructive. Mm, It's worse than what the passport pros do. But what I'm saying is that white men go to Europe and to Africa, and for the most part, I don't know. Um, for me, what I like about the white men I have been meeting is that they are liberal. Like the guy I am dating right now, he is a Danish man. In fact, if I say his name and you Google his name, um, you would see like he is an advocate in his own country in Denmark. He advocates for Muslim and other immigrants. He's very liberal. He is even more liberal than I am, and I like that. I like if you are someone who wants to date. And this is the thing. This is the thing. I do not think you should date any white person. I think you should be very selective. You should be very selective in, whatever the kind of men you date, the kind of people you date. But when you are dating interracially, you should be even more selective. And me, I will never date a right wing white man. So for me, I have found it that it is much easier to find a white man that who is liberal in Africa than anywhere else. Yeah. So yeah, that's what I would say. Yeah. If you just date white people because they are white, you are a loser. Well, I mean, there is nothing special about white people. I have never, Anyways, be selective. Be very selective. Maybe you are a conservative black person and who wants to date a conservative black or a conservative white person. Be selective. Don't just date any person just because they are white. I am a liberal black person, so I want to date a white liberal person. And to be honest, when you are liberal the way I am, you are more likely to find a white person who goes with your ideology than a black people. Like a lot of them. Anyway, anyway, I am not. What does that mean? White people do not have reason. I do not date for reason. I date for anyway. Yeah. Anyways, I can't say anything because I don't want to sound gross. But believe me, one thing I have found out is that really there is no difference between dating black men and white men. And black men mm, are good. I have never had any problem with the black men I dated, except one. Um, and white men, I have only dated. How many white men I have dated? Three white men, to be honest. Like three white men, and you know what? They're just not different. Only difference between them is the skin color. Why would you care? What the hell? Let me block you, Tony. Oh my God. My eyes are so, I don't know what happened. Oh, so so what was I about? To be honest, I don't really like to talk about dating and everything. The only thing I want to say is that if you are a black woman and you want to date white men, do not just date them because they are white. Be very selective and realize that the internet has made it so easy for us to date. Like it has opened up our dating options. Before, our dating options were basically our local city, but now it is the whole world. I actually met I don't even consider him my boyfriend. He actually has another girlfriend from Kenya. So we are not really like, I don't consider him my boyfriend. Anyways, but the way I met him is I actually met him on Twitter. That is how much he was in Ethiopia. No, he was not in Ethiopia. Actually, he was in Kenya when I met him, and I was here in America. That is how open our dating pool is right now. How large our dating pool has become right now. How global it has become. And that for me is exciting. When they tell you black women are not, desirable, da, 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 I never challenge it. I am not delusional. Um, I do not challenge it, but this is the point I always make. Even if 1% of white men like us, that's enough for us because there are so many white men. I mean, and if just 1% of the global white men want us, that's a lot. That's right now that the 1% that like want us, those people, those men are available for us because geography is no longer a limitation. If there is a white person in England who likes to date you, you can date them thanks to the online, thanks to the internet. So I am advocate for people, for black women, to use social media to expand their dating pool. I'm telling you guys, I met my quote unquote boyfriend through Twitter, and you don't even like the thing about like the way we met. Uh, he There was actually uh, a debate kind of thing on Twitter because people were arguing about the International Criminal Court and how that court seems to target only African leaders, African rulers, leaders. And some white liberals were like, no, 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 it's not really like that. Da, da, da. We should still support it because Africans do not have justice system, a working justice system. Da, da, da. And I was so hated. I was so angry because it sounds so condescending, so colonial. But then this guy, this Danish guy, was actually like, defending Africans. And I'm like, oh my God, the reason I'm telling you this story is Twitter not only got me in touch with this guy, it also told me that he had the same politics as I do. He is pro-Africa. So I was like, what? Oh, this is so like we started like him and me became, in the same side. Like, I was him and me were arguing with other liberals, and I'm like, what? I actually DM'd him. I was like, what? You are, a fascinating man. Da, 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 da. And we started talking, and he told me he is in Kenya, and I was like, wow, I'm actually going to Ethiopia in summer. And he's like, what? I could actually, come over and meet Ethiopia. And I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? And he's like, no, 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 I'm serious. When I went to Ethiopia, he came and visited me. He actually rented a house for me. And then, just before I returned to America, I went and visited him in Mombasa, which I didn't really like Mombasa that much. And we have stayed in contact since then. I do not really consider him my boyfriend. He's just, I don't consider him my boyfriend. But the main point I'm trying to make here is that I met him online. And we already know we have the same interest, or at least our politics alliance is the same, which is very important, right? If you are a conservative, you don't want to date. If you are a conservative, you probably are, like anti-gay marriage. Da, da, da. You don't want to date someone who is, blaming a liberal, right? The same thing. If you are a liberal like me, you don't want to date a right winger. So, and what the social media does is it shows you what the person's politics is. I think social media is actually a better dating tool than, the old time when you meet people through people, right? Through friends. So yeah, I encourage Black women to be on social media like Twitter. Of course, you shouldn't be on Twitter to date because that's not what Twitter is for. But if you find someone whose politics you like, who you think are attracted to physically, then you should go for it. I had seen the picture of my, the guy I was dating, and he's not like, he's not drop dead gorgeous, but he's not ugly either. And I am sure he is physically attracted to me too. So, and all that you can do on social media. So my advice for Black women on social media and dates. And that is it. And of course, Africa. Congrats on that. I don't really like. Actually, let me put that back. Do not go to Africa because I am not pro, Westerners going to Africa. My how do I call him? I don't want to call him my boyfriend because I don't consider him my boyfriend. My guy is in Africa because he works for UN. It's like the cultural part of UN. He works for them, and that's why he's there. But that's it. And use social media